How's everybody doing? Just want to do a quick little video here about a product I came across that I think everybody might find interesting. The product in question is called Schminke Tro-Col-Bronze. Now there's several different colors. This is the gold. There's also a copper, a silver, aluminum, and a couple others I can't think of. And what this is let's see if we can see here. It's a very fine powder. This one is again the gold, and the way it works is it just simply mixes with water. I'll just add a few drops, and you just mix in the water. It creates a really nice gold color. You have to mix it really well. This one looks like it probably needs a little more water. I've had to do a lot of trial and error with this. I couldn't find anything online about the proper amount of water to powder. But you just keep mixing it and it'll eventually smooth out to a nice consistency. And you obviously don't want to use your best sable brushes for this. A nice Citadel brush is probably the best choice. So there's a pretty good consistency. So you see it's a nice, it's not as smooth as your acrylic paints will be, and you'll see it actually has the surface tension is pretty high, and I'll show you real quick. Let me move this and I'll show you actually applying this. Here's a piece I've already done some on. It's a little finicky when you're putting it on. It's like I said, the surface tension on this is kind of high, so you got to kind of maneuver it around. Again, it's not friendly like some of the acrylic paints are, so you got to kind of massage it to get good even coverage. I guess now that I'm sitting here doing this, I'm thinking because of the surface tension, maybe need to add a little Windex. That might break it up. I'll try that here. Actually, you know what? Since I'm recording this, why don't we try it here live? Get a little powder out. And we can do this and find out together if that makes any difference whatsoever. And you'll see this is a very fine powder in here. I just use this little sculpting tool to, because you only need a very small amount. This bottle will probably last pretty close to forever. So now that we got that, let's try it with the little Windex and see what this does. It does look like they broke up the surface tension. Let's see what it looks like when we actually apply it to something. It definitely goes on a little smoother, but you still have to do a little manipulation with it. So actually, it looks like the water may have covered a little better. This may require a couple of coats. But anyway, so while I was working with this, the other cool thing I was thinking about was, okay, you get a nice gold or metallic effect with water, but the thought occurred to me, what happens if I were to mix this to a color? and I came up with a couple of tests here. Started off with white. Now the paints I'm using here are the Reaper. Those are the ones I have the most of, so I've tried those. I haven't tried it yet with any of the air colors, but I will try it out with those, and if there's any interesting results, I'll post them up. But as you can see, from left to right on the white side, you have a copper, gold, and silver flakes. And hopefully I can get the light just right. You can see those glittering. On the right is a gray color. Up next is a red and black. Now in here there's a fourth one to the right of each color. That was the aluminum color. It really did not mix well with the paints. I guess it's a different kind of powder and it just didn't mix as evenly or smoothly. But you can see the red and the black have some nice glittering highlights in them from the powder. Blue, I thought, had some nice effects as well. Again, left to right it's copper, gold, silver, and then that far right one on the blue is the aluminum, but as you can see it just kind of clumped up and didn't do much. Then we have the fire orange. And the final test ones I did was with the yellow and green. Now you will notice on some of these colors, particularly on the reds and the yellows, that it will can change the tone a little bit of your color, so that's something to bear in mind if you decide to use this. You have to do some experimentation to see how much it changes the various tones of the color. So that's all good and fine, but what's an actual application for it? I mean, there's a lot of things that came to mind, but the first thing I thought of was power weapon. And now you have to bear with me, this is my first attempt at painting a power weapon in this. I've never done the four color kind of fading together before, but don't pay so much attention to the paint job, just more what I wanted to show was the actual effect of the metallic flakes. And I think it actually came out really really interesting. I mean, it gives, you know, for a power weapon particularly, it gives a kind of a mystical, energized look. I think it just complements the four color blending there, and I think that would do a really, just add a little extra to, you know, a character's weapon. And again, this isn't anything I've seen anywhere else before. I could be mistaken. Oops. But I'm not familiar with any other paint technique where you can actually get that kind of glitter look like you're seeing here. I could be wrong, but again, this is all still kind of new to me, so as I find cool things I like to share them with everybody. Now, some of you may be asking, did you do that with an airbrush? And believe it or not, you can actually push this through an airbrush. Here's some of the just doodles I was doing. As you can see, it does give it a nice even coverage of the flakes, and it actually went through without too many problems. In between colors I would put through a cup of Windex just to clear it out, but there wasn't too much clogging. Towards the end, however, after I was done with the sword, I did throw it into the ultrasonic cleaner because it was clogging a little towards the end. But all in all, I think that was a pretty successful test, and I plan to try it on a couple other things, and as I get some results I'll post them up if I find anything interesting. But thought I'd just like to share that in case anybody is interested and might want to try it out for themselves. Again, the product is Schminke Tro-Col-Bronze. You can get it from dickblick.com. That's where I picked it up. Let's put the cap on here. I'll show you the bottle again. And like I said, I think there's like about 6 different colors. Now just be careful when you get this that you get the Tro-Col-Bronze, because there's another bronze that requires a agent medium that you mix it with. With the mediums, more or less mineral spirits. It smells god awful, and my guess is it would probably eat the plastic miniature. So make sure you get the Tro-Col-Bronze, which is mixes with water. And I guess if there's any questions, feel free to post them. If there's anything you want me to try this out on with my limited abilities, I will certainly give it a try. But thanks again for watching, and hope you enjoyed.